So you want to captain the Stalingrad. Well, do you like damage? Do you like having one of the rarer ships in the game because of steel? Do you like also having one of the most overpowered ships in the game? Well, then the Stalingrad is for you. And if you are new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe down below. It will mean the world to me, and you'll stay notified whenever I post the next So You Want to Captain series. Let's get into it. So the Stalingrad's history is... it's there, but it's not really there. She was conceived or thought up and blueprinted after World War II. Nothing really went on because there was a lot of protest against basically having a heavy cruiser, because they saw basically what happened to the American Alaskas and saw that they were not very efficient, but they still wanted to provide, Stalin a special ship just for him, hence the name Stalingrad. So construction eventually started in 1951, planning to be done before the October Revolution anniversary in 1953, the late 1953. But there was one slight issue. There was delays whenever they were basically building the ship, so she was already behind on schedule. And then Stalin died in March 1953. As soon as he died, it basically became a canceled program because the ship was all dedicated towards him, and there wasn't really going to be any use in the Navy for the Stalingrad at the current configuration. So basically, she's completed about 70% of the way there, and then she basically turned into a giant target practice for the most of her rest of her quote-unquote career. So the Stalingrad really didn't do too much. That's pretty much her history. Now, in-game, she's probably one of the rarer ships that you'll see in-game. And the reason why is it just costs so much steel, and you gotta play a lot of ranked battles to get steel, and so on and so forth. So she's kind of a rarer ship, and if you see somebody having that, they probably are decently good, or they've been grinding forever and ever. One of the two. But with that being said, she is a very powerful ship, especially if you know and play to her particular perks or traits. And her perks or traits are basically her guns. Her guns are amazing. They're accurate. There is no, they're going to, where you aim them is basically where the guns are, and the shells are going to go, which are amazing. So the AP shells are amazing. They will just shred through anything. Now your HE shells, they're not going to be good unless you're going to be a troll and go with like a full fire captain, which... don't do. Please do not do in this ship. But you can if you really, 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 really wanted to. Her HE shells are not that great. They're pretty much ineffective. So pretty much you're going to be using AP though. Most of the time, if not all the time. She is one of the better ships on speed, and also has a larger hit point value than any cruiser, but the also problem is she's not as maneuverable as other cruisers. So you I feel like you're like a battle cruiser, and you have a really bad detection range. So that's kind of like all the quote-unquote negativities for her, is she's very detectable, HE sucks, and one last thing is she kind of has like a higher citadel than most cruisers, so brawling can be very much of a challenge, but at the same time, still, this is a very powerful ship, and she's very good at like anchoring. So if you want to like hold the west in and then progressively move west or east or whatever you want to do, or just hold down a particular point, you're going to be great at that. You don't charge in. You're going to be sniping. You're going to be trying to, find broadsides of both battleships and cruisers. That's pretty much your two big targets are going to be battleships and cruisers. You'll be okay against, carriers. You have decent AA, but, AA defense is non-really existent, and it's dumb. Let's just say it as it is. Carriers are dumb. But you're going to kind of struggle against destroyers just purely because you have a 12-second reload, which doesn't seem like a lot, but, if they're charging down on you and you just happen to make a mistake of your positioning was too far forward, you may end up dying relatively easy. But for the most part, you shouldn't ever have that type of situation. Plus, you have an amazing Russian radar. So it's just like there should be no situation where a DD sneaks up on you unless it's like late game and you don't have much and, you know, it's late game. But for the most part, your main targets are going to be cruisers, especially cruisers that are going to be broadside, because you're going to be hitting citadels for days. This ship, I cannot believe how many citadels it can get in the game. It's pretty ridiculous, and I feel like that's the reason why people look for her, especially in ranked battle or in those clan battles or the King of the Sea battles. You see a lot of Stalingrads, because she's just so powerful, so good, and there's not really cons with her. I mean, yeah, her detection range sucks, but you can still, you know, get it down with certain modules. Yeah, your HE sucks, but why are you using the HE? Armor piercing is going to do way more damage than anything else. So it's just, this ship is really, really good. And if you ever, you know, see your steel, have a lot of steel, and you happen to have a coupon maybe, one day you can get her, I would highly recommend her. She is very much worth it. She's probably one of the most overpowered ships in the game, but you don't see a lot of her because it's, you know, a steel ship, so not a lot of people, not a lot of players will have access to her. If she was like a coal ship, I could see her being kind of just like the Smolensk and eventually getting out of there, out of the armory, but nah, it's steel. She's going to be in there for quite some time, and it's going to be a challenge to ever get her. But with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. It was kind of a shorter one because there's not too much history on the Stalingrad, unfortunately. And if you like this content, make sure to subscribe. I also stream on Monday, Friday, and Sundays. Links are down below, of course, if you are interested in that. And with that being said, thanks for watching and have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye-bye.